Have you ever walked out of someone's home feeling more drained than when you arrived? As we age, the way we spend our time, and more importantly, who we share it with, matters more than ever. The reality is, some visits aren't just unproductive. They can leave you emotionally exhausted, disturb your peace of mind, and even impact your well-being. Unfortunately, we often don't recognize this until we're already affected. In today's video, we'll highlight 4 types of people whose homes you should steer clear of after 65, no matter how much free time you have. Whether it's out of habit, social obligation, or simple politeness, many of us continue these visits without realizing the emotional cost they carry. We're breaking it all down so you can make more intentional choices about where, and with whom, you spend your valuable time. Stick around until the end because knowing who to distance yourself from is just as crucial as knowing who to keep in your circle. At first glance, these 4 types of individuals may not seem harmful, but their presence could be quietly diminishing your happiness. By the time you notice the effects, the damage might already be done. However, once you identify these patterns, you'll be empowered to safeguard your energy, establish healthier boundaries, and prioritize relationships that bring you joy. Let's dive in. The perpetual complainer. Some people always find something to grumble about. No matter how well things are going, they'll fixate on the negative. You know the kind. The moment you step through their door, you're met with a sigh, a grievance about their health, the state of the world, or how nobody cares about them. It doesn't matter if the sun is shining or if they just received good news, there's always something to be upset about. And if you linger too long, you might start feeling it too. Negativity is infectious. Spending time with chronic complainers can subtly shift your mindset, even if you don't realize it at first. It's not just about hearing a few complaints, it's about the emotional weight they transfer onto you. The longer you stay, the more you absorb their frustration, their pessimism, and their belief that the world is against them. And by the time you leave, you might feel inexplicably burdened, as if their problems have become your own. Now, this doesn't mean you should turn your back on friends or family who are going through a tough time. Everyone faces challenges, and offering a listening ear is a natural part of human connection. But there's a difference between supporting someone through a rough patch and constantly exposing yourself to someone who thrives on negativity. Chronic complainers don't want solutions. They want an audience. They thrive on sympathy, and they'll keep pulling you back in, visit after visit, until their problems become your problems. The tricky part is that they don't always seem toxic at first. Many complainers start small, an offhand remark about a bad night's sleep, a minor grievance about the neighbor's dog. But before long, you're stuck in a cycle of endless complaints about the unfairness of life. And no matter how much advice you offer, they never take action. You'll notice that no matter how many hours you spend listening, nothing changes. The same problems, the same frustrations, over and over again. Here's something to keep in mind. If you try to shift the conversation to something positive, they'll resist. They might dismiss your optimism or turn it into another complaint. Try telling them about something good that happened to you, and they'll find a way to diminish it or compare it to their own misfortunes. Over time, you'll realize that every visit leaves you emotionally drained rather than refreshed. If you walk into someone's home feeling fine, but leave feeling exhausted, irritated, or even a little hopeless, it's time to reconsider those visits. After 65, your time is too valuable to be spent absorbing someone else's endless negativity. There's nothing wrong with offering kindness, but don't mistake kindness for sacrificing your peace of mind. You are not responsible for carrying the weight of another person's unwillingness to seek happiness. Number 2. The manipulative user. Not everyone who welcomes you into their home does so because they enjoy your company. Some people invite you over only when they need something, and the moment you arrive, you can feel it. At first, it might seem innocent enough. Maybe they ask for a small favor, something that doesn't seem like a big deal. But over time, you begin to notice a pattern. They don't reach out to check on you. They don't invite you over just to chat. Instead, every visit comes with an expectation, something they need you to do, something they want from you. The tricky thing about manipulative people is that they rarely make their requests obvious. Instead, they disguise them in guilt, obligation, or even flattery. They'll say things like, "I don't know what I'd do without you." "You're the only one who understands." They might say things like this, making you feel responsible for their happiness. Before you know it, you're fixing their leaky faucet, driving them to run errands, or spending hours doing things for them instead of enjoying your own free time. Here's the problem. These relationships are not built on mutual respect. A true friendship or family bond is about give and take, where both people support each other. But with a manipulative user, the balance is always off. You give, they take. You make time for them, and they expect even more. If you ever leave a visit feeling like it was an obligation rather than an enjoyable experience, that's a red flag. Some might justify it by saying, "But they don't have anyone else." While that could be true, ask yourself, if the roles were reversed, would they go out of their way for you? If you were the one in need, would they drop everything to help, the way you do for them? If the answer is no, it's time to reconsider. Are they truly a friend, or just someone who relies on you out of convenience? A major warning sign of a manipulative person is how they respond when you set boundaries. If saying no results in guilt-tripping, disappointment, or even anger, then it's clear. Your presence isn't valued for who you are, but rather for what you provide. By the time you reach 65, the last thing you need is someone who views your generosity as an opportunity to take advantage of you. Your time and energy are precious. True friendships enrich your life, while one-sided relationships only leave you feeling depleted, unappreciated, and, ultimately, resentful. If someone only reaches out when they need something but never checks in just to see how you're doing, that's not a meaningful connection. It's an expectation, and you deserve better. If you're still here and finding this conversation helpful, drop a number 2 in the comments to let me know you're watching. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Your support allows us to keep creating valuable content for you. The Chaos Seeker. Some people don't just get caught up in drama, they thrive on it. No matter the situation, they always seem to be at the center of some conflict, misunderstanding, or crisis. And if you spend enough time around them, you'll inevitably get pulled into the chaos. You might visit them expecting a pleasant chat, but instead, you're bombarded with a long-winded story about how they were mistreated, betrayed, or wronged, yet again. Before you know it, you're knee-deep in their problems, whether you want to be or not. The issue with chaos seekers is that they aren't comfortable with peace. When things are calm, they get restless, so they stir things up. They gossip, exaggerate disagreements, and twist stories to paint themselves as the victim. But here's the catch. They don't just want a listener. They want an ally. They'll share details about their latest fallout with a friend, a neighbor, or a relative, expecting you to take their side. Suddenly, you're not just hearing about the drama. You're being pressured to pick a stance, and the cycle never ends. Even if you try to remain neutral, they'll keep pushing, testing, and waiting for you to align with them. If you do, they'll keep feeding you more gossip, more details, more drama. But if you refuse to engage or try to change the topic, they might take offense. And before long, you could find yourself on their list of so-called enemies. That's the reality of people who thrive on conflict. Sooner or later, everyone around them gets dragged into it. Spending time in their home is exhausting. You don't leave feeling uplifted or refreshed. Instead, there's a lingering tension in the air, even when they're being friendly. And if you're not careful, their negativity can seep into your own mindset, affecting how you feel, how you interact with others, and even how you see the world. Some mistake this behavior for passion or excitement, thinking they just have a lot happening in their life. But true friends don't burden you with unnecessary stress. They don't make you feel like you're constantly navigating a minefield, afraid to say the wrong thing. The key to protecting your peace is recognizing these patterns early and limiting your exposure to those who bring more drama than joy into your life. If someone's home feels more like a battlefield than a place of comfort, ask yourself, why do you keep going back? The older you get, the more you realize that peace is priceless. And if someone thrives on drama at the expense of your well-being, it's okay to step away. You are not obligated to listen, participate, or take on their emotional burdens. After 65, your time should be spent with people who bring you joy, not with those who treat you like an audience for their never-ending problems. Number 4. The negative nostalgic. Some people live in the past, not in a way that brings warmth or wisdom, but in a way that keeps them stuck in bitterness, regret, and resentment. When you visit their home, the conversation always circles back to what went wrong, who disappointed them, or how life was unfair to them. It doesn't matter how much time has passed or how much good they have in their life today. Their focus is always on what they lost rather than what they still have. At first, it might seem like harmless reminiscing. After all, everyone enjoys talking about the past now and then, but with the negative nostalgic, it's never just about memories. It's about reliving disappointments. They'll bring up old family conflicts, past betrayals, or lost opportunities, and the more they talk, the deeper they sink into resentment. Here's where it affects you. No matter how positive you try to be, they will always pull the conversation back to regret. Have you ever noticed that after spending time with certain people, you start to see the world the way they do? That's the danger of spending too much time with someone who fixates on the past. Without realizing it, you might find yourself dwelling on your own regrets, your own disappointments, things you thought you had let go of years ago, and slowly, without meaning to, you begin to adopt their perspective, seeing life through the lens of what could have been instead of what can still be. And it's not just about their own regrets. They might also try to shape your view of life. They'll tell you that things will never be as good as they used to be, that today's world has nothing to offer, that getting older only means loss, and if you let those words sink in, they can start to feel like the truth. But here's the reality. Life changes for everyone. There are always things to be grateful for, new experiences to enjoy, and new memories to create. But the negative nostalgic doesn't see it that way. To them, the best days are gone, and they have no interest in finding joy in the present. And if you spend too much time in their home, you risk absorbing their hopelessness instead of protecting your own optimism. Now, this doesn't mean you should avoid people who have been through hardships, but there's a difference between sharing life lessons and clinging to past pain. There's a difference between honoring memories and being trapped by them. After 65, you should be surrounding yourself with people who appreciate what life still has to offer, not those who only see what they've lost. If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you are here. And if you have not subscribed yet, I highly recommend you do. Turn on the bell notification so you do not miss any of our future videos. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content to inform and inspire you. Final thoughts. As we wrap up this video, take a moment to reflect on the 4 types of people we have discussed. Have you ever left someone's home feeling drained, frustrated, or emotionally weighed down? If so, it might be time to reconsider where and with whom you spend your time. After 65, your peace of mind is one of the most valuable things you have, and protecting it is not just a luxury, it is a necessity. This doesn't mean you should cut people out of your life without cause, but it does mean being intentional about the energy you allow into your space. Some visits fill you with warmth, inspiration, and a sense of genuine connection. Others leave you feeling drained, uncertain, or burdened with emotional weight that isn't yours to carry. When you start tuning in to how you feel after spending time with someone, the difference becomes clear. There are relationships that uplift you and those that deplete you. But here's the truth. You are not responsible for fixing someone else's negativity. You don't have to engage in their drama. You are not obligated to compensate for the changes they refuse to make. Your time, your energy, and your emotional well-being matter just as much as anyone else's. You deserve to spend your later years surrounded by people who bring you joy, not those who take it away. So take a moment to reflect. Who in your life truly values and appreciates you? Who makes you feel seen and heard? Whose presence leaves you feeling better than before? Those are the relationships worth nurturing. Because at this stage in life, every moment is precious, and how you spend them will shape the quality of your days. Thank you for being here with us today. We'd love to hear from you. Share one key takeaway from this video and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your insights and experiences inspire us, and we appreciate every comment you leave. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It helps us continue bringing you content that informs and uplifts. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.